Myself Suraksha, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacology, Yenepoya Pharmacy College and Research Center. Today we will be discussing on the topic hypertension. Table of contents include definition and introduction, etiology, types of hypertension, signs and symptoms, pathogenesis, blood pressure regulation, risk or predisposing factors, complications, diagnosis, management, summary and references. Specific learning objectives. At the end of the lecture, students should be able to define hypertension and explain the normal blood pressure values, describe the etiology and classify the types of hypertension, identify the signs and symptoms, explain the pathogenesis and vascular changes in hypertension, understand the role of baroreceptors and RAAS in BP regulation, list the risk factors and complications of hypertension and describe the methods of diagnosis. Let us see what is hypertension. World Health Organization defines hypertension as a sustained blood pressure of 140 over 90 mmHg or higher. This means that the blood vessels are under extra pressure. In normal persons, the systolic blood pressure, that means when the heart is pumping, is 120 mmHg, and diastolic blood pressure, that is when the heart is relaxing, is 80 mmHg. Hypertension or high blood pressure is a very common and serious condition that can lead to many health problems. That is why hypertension is also called as silent killer, because many people do not feel any symptoms, but it can slowly damage the body, which can lead to the heart diseases, stroke, kidney damage and the vision problems. So here the arterial blood pressure is approximately equal to cardiac output into peripheral resistance. Cardiac output is the amount of blood that is pumped into the aorta each minute by the heart. So this cardiac output, it mainly depends on heart rate. That means how fast our heart beats. Faster the heart rate, the more blood is pumped and therefore BP increases. And contractility, that means how strongly our heart squeezes. Stronger squeezing means more blood is pumped and as a result BP increases. Filling pressure, that is filling of blood into the heart, that is it depends on the blood volume and the venous tone. Blood volume is how much blood is in the body, and venous tone the width of the small blood vessels. So if the vessels are narrow or if they are contracted, the resistance will be more and as a result BP increases. And if the vessels dilate or if they widen, the resistance will be less and therefore the BP will be low. So here peripheral vascular resistance, it is the total resistance opposing the blood flow in the systemic circulation. It depends on the arteriolar volume. Maximum pressure or systolic pressure, it is the pressure in the artery which happens when the left ventricle is contracting to force the blood into the aorta and other arteries. Diastolic pressure, it is the minimum pressure in the artery when the ventricles are relaxing and the heart is filling up, receiving the blood from the veins. Coming to the etiology, over 90% of the hypertension cases are essential hypertension. A family history greatly increases the risk. That means if a parent or the close relatives have hypertension, the person is at the greater risk of getting it because of the genetic inheritance. The condition is more frequent in middle-aged men than women and the risk increases with age and obesity. Environmental and lifestyle factors such as stress, high salt intake and smoking also contribute to hypertension. Next is types of hypertension. Hypertension is of two types, that is primary hypertension, which is also called as essential hypertension, and secondary hypertension. Coming to primary hypertension, 95% of the cases of hypertension are essential or primary hypertension because the exact underlying cause is not known, but they may occur due to the lifestyle changes and genetics. Secondary hypertension, the remaining 5% of the people with hypertension comes under the secondary hypertension. The underlying causes are chronic artery diseases, nephrotic syndrome, hyperthyroidism, sleep apnea, chronic alcohol, oral contraceptives, hyperaldosteronism, preeclampsia and drugs like cocaine. The signs and symptoms of hypertension include headache, dyspnea, that means shortness of breath, visual changes, that is blurred vision, or it is also called as retinopathy, chest pain, sensory or motor problems, palpitation, anxiety and nose bleeding. Pathogenesis of hypertension. Pathogenesis means how the hypertension is developed in the body. It happens mainly due to the changes in the blood vessels, especially due to the vascular changes, remodeling and hypertrophy. If you see the normal blood vessels, the blood vessel walls are thin and they are flexible, and the lumen or the inside space, it is wide and open. The blood flows smoothly and easily, therefore the blood pressure will be normal. Coming to the early hypertension, so plaque starts forming in the inner wall of the blood vessel, therefore the blood vessel wall becomes slightly thick, the lumen or the inside space becomes slightly narrower, the blood flows becomes difficulty, therefore the blood pressure starts increasing. And in the late hypertension, the blood vessel walls becomes very thick and hard, that is called as hypertrophy, and the lumen becomes very narrow, the blood flow becomes difficult, therefore BP becomes very high. Next is the mechanism for controlling the blood pressure. Our body controls blood pressure using three mechanisms, that is neuronal mechanism, humoral mechanism and other mechanisms. Neuronal mechanism include peripheral autoregulatory components and baroreceptor reflex. Humoral mechanism include Renin-Angiotensin-Aldosterone pathway or RAAS system and natriuretic hormone. Other mechanisms include electrolytes and the chemicals, vascular endothelial mechanisms. Blood pressure is directly proportional to the cardiac output and peripheral vascular resistance. That means if the cardiac output increases, blood pressure increases. If the peripheral vascular resistance increases, blood pressure increases, and if both decrease, blood pressure also decreases. They are in turn controlled by two overlapping control mechanisms, that is baroreflexes and the RAAS system. So these baroreflexes, they are the fast control, and the Renin-Angiotensin-Aldosterone system or RAAS system, it is the medium or the long term control. Coming to the baroreceptors. So these baroreceptors, they are the pressure sensitive nerve endings. They are present in the carotid sinus and the aortic arc. Their job is to detect the variations or changes in the blood pressure. So if the BP raises, the artery stimulates the baroreceptors, and these baroreceptors sends the nerve signal to the cardiovascular center. Cardiovascular center responds by increasing the parasympathetic nerve activity to the heart. This slows down the heart. At the same time, the sympathetic stimulation of blood vessel is inhibited. This leads to vasodilation. As a result, the blood pressure falls and the raised BP comes back to normal. And conversely, if the BP falls, the baroreceptor discharge also falls. The cardiovascular center responds by increasing the sympathetic nerve activity, leading to the vasoconstriction, and as a result blood pressure rises and the fallen blood pressure comes back to normal. Next is the Renin-Angiotensin-Aldosterone system. Kidney has a baroreceptor which senses the low blood pressure. When the BP is low, kidney releases the enzyme called as renin. Low sodium intake and greater loss also increases the renin release. The renin converts angiotensinogen from the liver to the angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2. So this happens in the lung, and it is done by the enzyme ACE, that is angiotensin converting enzyme. Angiotensin 2, it is the powerful vasoconstrictor. It leads to constriction of both the arterioles and vein. It increases the peripheral vascular resistance, and therefore it increases in the blood flow or blood pressure. Next is the angiotensin 2. It exerts the preferential vasoconstriction action on the efferent arterioles of the renal glomerulus. As a result, pressure inside the glomerulus increases and the glomerular filtration rate increases. This helps the kidney to continue filtering the blood even if the blood flow is BP is low. Furthermore, it stimulates the aldosterone secretion, leading to the increased sodium reabsorption and increased blood flow, which contributes to a further increase in the blood pressure. So this is the diagrammatic representation. So if the BP is decreased, kidney releases the enzyme called as renin. So renin converts the angiotensinogen from the liver into angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2 by the help of the enzyme angiotensin converting enzyme. It is done in the lungs. So angiotensin 2, as it is a potent vasoconstrictor, it increases the blood pressure, and angiotensin 2 stimulates the aldosterone secretion, which results in increase in the water reabsorption and decrease in the urine volume, and as a result increased blood pressure. Risk or predisposing factors of hypertension are obesity, high alcohol intake, family history, diabetes, high sodium intake, old age and sleep apnea. Complications of hypertension include retinopathy, that is vision problems, heart failure, brain stroke, nephropathy, that is kidney damage, atherosclerosis and sexual dysfunction. Diagnosis of hypertension include ECG to check the heart function, urine analysis to check the renal function, and serology includes plasma renin, plasma aldosterone and thyroid function test. Management of hypertension includes exercise, reduce salt intake, reduce intake of alcohol, cessation of smoking, maintain proper healthy diet, antihypertensive medications like diuretics, ACE inhibitors, ARBs, beta blockers and the calcium channel blockers. And in the summary, hypertension is a common chronic cardiovascular disease characterized by persistently elevated blood pressure above 140/90 mmHg. Most cases are essential hypertension with no identifiable cause, while a smaller percentage is secondary to underlying conditions. The disease develops due to vascular remodeling and increased peripheral resistance. Blood pressure is mainly regulated by the baroreceptor reflex and the RAAS system. The risk factors include obesity, high salt intake, alcohol, diabetes, family history and aging. If uncontrolled, hypertension leads to serious complications affecting the heart, brain, kidneys and eyes. Diagnosis involves ECG, urine analysis and hormonal tests. Management include lifestyle modification and antihypertensive medications. These are the references. Thank you.